What if Peter Pan wasn't the hero you grew up with? What if he was the original vampire, and the Lost Boys were never meant to grow up, because they were already dead? Let's explore the intriguing connection between the Lost Boys vampire movie and its inspiration from Peter Pan's band of misfits, the original Lost Boys. Forget what Disney told you. Behind the flying boy and his band of merry children lies something darker, a story soaked in blood, not fairy dust. In this video, we're diving into the eerie theory that Peter Pan was never a savior of children, but something far more sinister, a creature of the night, a vampire. And the Lost Boys? Not just mischievous kids, but souls trapped in eternal childhood, or undead. From J.M. Barrie's original texts to the 1987 cult horror film The Lost Boys, we're pulling back the curtain, and by the end, you may never look at Neverland the same way again. Let's start with the boy himself, Peter Pan, a boy who never grows up, lives in the shadows, visits children at night through their windows, takes them away from their families, and keeps them in a realm where time stands still. Sound familiar? Vampires are eternal. They lure victims into the night. They don't age. They sleep during the day. They feed not just on blood, but on innocence. In J.M. Barrie's original 1904 play and 1911 novel Peter and Wendy, Peter is no sweet boy. He's cold, arrogant, and disturbingly forgetful. He literally forgets who Tinkerbell is. Wendy even wonders if Peter kills the Lost Boys when they grow too old. Because remember, there's no aging in Neverland. No birthdays, no change, just frozen children. And what about how Peter Pan gets into the darling home? He flies through windows. He stalks children while they sleep. He seduces them into leaving their parents forever. That's Vampire Lore 101. The Lost Boys never grow up. That's their curse. Peter brings them in, and they stay the same, forever. But what happens when they do grow up? There's a dark theory in the fandom. Peter kills them, or maybe he feeds on them. Maybe Neverland is a purgatory where he keeps the souls of boys he's stolen. Boys whose parents never knew what happened to them. Think about it. No girls become Lost Boys. Tinkerbell is jealous, like a vampire's familiar. Peter loses boys. He discards them. And Peter doesn't rescue children. He chooses them, like a predator choosing prey. It's not a stretch, especially when you realize how closely the 1987 film The Lost Boys leans into this theory. The Lost Boys is a vampire movie, but its name? Directly taken from Peter Pan, the teenage vampires in Santa Carla. They're trapped in youth. They look cool, rebellious, full of life, but they're hollow, feeding on others to maintain that forever young image, just like Peter. And their leader? David. Long trench coat, bleached hair, eternal youth. He offers new boys a place in the group. He seduces Michael, offers him flight, freedom, and family. Even the phrase, "You'll never grow old, and you'll never die." Sound familiar? That's the real Neverland. A land of the damned, an island of undead boys with no future, only hunger. To really understand this theory, you have to look at the man who created Peter Pan, J.M. Barrie. His life wasn't whimsical. It was soaked in grief and death. His older brother died in an accident as a child. His mother was shattered. Barry tried to take the dead boy's place, even wearing his clothes. He stopped growing at age 5 due to stress and trauma. He was always small, childlike, frozen. He had an obsession with lost childhood, but not in a sweet way, in a haunted way. He formed deep, some say troubling, relationships with young boys. One family, the Llewellyn Davies, became the model for the Darlings. Barry practically adopted their sons after their parents died. 2 of the boys would die young. It's not hard to see how Peter Pan came from a mind obsessed with death, lost youth, and frozen time. What if Neverland isn't a magical island? What if it's a metaphor for death? Children fly there, but only if they believe. Once they go, they don't return. Time stops. They forget their past lives, and they live in a dream that becomes a nightmare. It lines up with spiritual lore. Some cultures believe the dead don't know they're dead and live in illusions. That's Neverland. And Peter, he's the psychopomp, the soul guide, or worse, the creature who feeds on those souls. This theory isn't new, but it keeps growing because it fits. It fits Peter's behavior. It fits vampire myth. And it fits the horror of what eternal youth really means. It's not a gift, it's a trap. And once you fall into it, there's no growing up, no going home. The 1987 Lost Boys film just made that literal. Youth culture is seductive. Rebellion looks cool. But what's behind it is decay. Vampirism becomes a metaphor for refusing to move on, for staying in the past, for staying young and empty, forever. Peter Pan isn't a hero, not when you look closely. He's not saving children, he's stealing them. And Neverland? It's not paradise, it's a graveyard with great lighting. The Lost Boys are vampires, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. So next time you hear that famous line, all children except one grow up, remember maybe that one didn't grow up because he couldn't, or worse, because he didn't want his victims to.